Joe Burrow, aka Joe Cool, has walked into Cincinnati and transformed them from a perennial underachieving franchise to a Super Bowl favorite and one of the must-watch teams every Sunday. They have done it by utilizing many of the spread elements Burrow used in college, bringing them to the NFL and combining that with arguably the best skill position group in the league to create an unstoppable offense. In this video, we'll be breaking down the key principles that makes this offense so tough to stop. We're going to have specifically designed plays to attack defenses just like the real-life Bengals do. Then we're also going to be going over the stars of their offense so you can target similar players. All of this will enable us to play like the dynamic Bengals offense in Madden 24. Now, formationally, the Bengals love to implement these spread looks, and empty formations are a go-to for the Bengals. This spreads out the defense and allows Burrow to use his amazing processing to absolutely pick apart defenses. Then even when they're not in empty, they still want to use a lot of shotgun looks where they can have their 3 game-breaking wideouts on the field at once, and this gives them a ton of playmaking and speed on the field. And to replicate this offense, we are going to be using these 3 formations in the Kansas City Chiefs Playbook. And this is actually all part of a bigger scheme I am creating where I'm going to break down 5 offenses from today's NFL that really utilize this spread offense that has taken the whole league by storm. And when they pair these spread concepts with young dynamos at QB, it becomes next to unstoppable. And then all 5 of these offenses will be run out of the Chiefs Playbook, so you can use all of them together to create one giant scheme. And the playlist for everything that is out so far will be down in the description below. Now, Joe Burrow is at the center of everything the Bengals do offensively, and his standout traits are his incredible football IQ and feel for the game. He is the definition of a gamer, and he can sit in the pocket, diagnose defenses, and deliver strikes, but also has the speed and athleticism to escape the pocket, buy time before pushing the ball down the field for explosive plays. So the Bengals have built their offense to perfectly complement this by designing plays that are built to spread out defenses and make it easy for Burrow to establish what defenses are doing on the back end so he can just absolutely shred them. So at my QB spot, I'm using the Josh Allen Elite card, and he is a great fit because he has the arm to push the ball into any area of the field, allowing us to make some big plays, and he does have the speed to escape the pocket, buy some time, and make throws on the run, which makes playing offense so much easier. The next play we are looking at is speed dig out in gun empty bunch Y flex, used to get a ton of weapons and speed on the field, and it just gives Burrow so many different options, allowing him to attack any defense he faces and lets him push the ball down the field. To set this up, have your bunch to the wide side, then take the outside receiver on the short side, put him on a streak, and motion him out. This is actually going to bring him inside and create this stack look. Then take the inside player on the bunch and put him on a hitch. First, I want to look to the safeties, and if we get too high pre-snap, we want to start with the slot fade, and if after the snap it's cover 2, then you are going to see this fade will get free untouched up the sideline in behind the cover 2 corner, and the safety will get held inside, and you can pass lead this up and away as much as you can, and you can drop it in for a huge gain along the sideline. Then on this play, if you get cover 3, this slot fade can also work as a back shoulder throw. The deep third will get pulled back by the streak, and once the fade gets in behind the flat, then pass lead this towards that sideline and as far away from the deep third defender as you can, and you can drop it in for a nice pickup. Then we can also work the wide side bunch, and first we're going to have this crossing route, and you can throw this early if the linebackers and user jump down and stay shallow, and you can pick up some really big gains over the middle of the field. Then you can also throw this later and let that crosser get deeper in behind the flats, and as long as the user isn't running with you, then you can fire it in for a big gainer down the field. Then next, if the user starts to run with that crosser to take it away, then that is where we have this deep dig coming in behind him, and if the user vacates, there should be a huge hole for this dig, and attacking with this is going to make this play super tough to stop. Then lastly, on this play for the check down or as a hot to beat the blitz, we have this hitch, and we can just drop it down to him whenever needed for some easy yards underneath. Then for an amazing RPO here, we have the RPO zone alert glance in gun tight Y off weak. Incredible ability to read out and take advantage of what defenses give him. Here I come out with my bubble screen to the wide side, and I want to look at the linebackers on the short side who need to stay back on the slant. And if at the snap I see they stay shallow or collapse down on the run, then I just want to quickly fire this in as our receiver gets vertical up the field for a nice pickup. This can also be incredibly explosive, and if they misplay you at all when their linebackers collapse down, all your receiver needs to do is break one tackle and he can be gone to the races, making this super deadly. Then if the linebackers on that side stay back on the slant, then we can just hand it off, get downhill on the inside, run with your running back, and this is a super solid run that you can use to pick up some nice gains on. Then lastly, if at the snap you notice they're bringing a ton of pressure off the bubble side and leaving that wide open, you can drop it out to him. You do have a blocker out in front. You can pick up some more nice yards on the outside. Then to pair with Burrow, the Bengals drafted Jamar Chase to reunite the two college teammates, and they have not missed a beat. Chase is off to one of the best starts to a career for a wideout ever, having over 1,400 yards as a rookie, but then also actually averaging more receiving yards per game last year, though he did miss 4 games. He does this by being one of the best deep threat, big play wideouts in the entire NFL, and if he ever gets one-on-one coverage on the outside, then Burrow trusts him to beat his man, and he will let it fly deep and let Chase absolutely abuse players on the outside with his incredible deep speed and big play ability. And in my Mutt offense, I am using Devin Hester in this role. He has the speed and big play ability to be the perfect down the field threat for our offense, but he's also super dangerous with the ball in his hands after the catch, just like Jamar Chase. So here we're gonna have the play trail shake, and this is gonna be out of the formation gun empty trip speed. This is my version of the 9-8-9 concept that the Bengals use, where they're gonna have 2 streaks on the outside and an option route in the middle of the field. And the Bengals love to use this to get one-on-one matchups on the outside to take advantage of Chase's incredible athleticism, but also gives him an option route over the middle if the outside streaks are taken away. To set this up, have the trips to the short side, then we want to take the inside slot receiver on that side, put him on a streak, then take the outside fade on the trip side, and you want to smart route this route. This will make the fade happen deeper down the field. So this play is designed to attack zone coverage, and the first thing we want to do here is check the safeties. And if we get single high, we are thinking cover 3, and if we get it post snap, then we want to look to the fade on the short side, and we'll see the corner on that side gets pulled inside to the streak, and this allows the outside fade to get steps on him down the field, and you want to pass lead this up and away from the cornerback as far as possible and let it fly, and you can get in behind him for a 1-play touchdown versus cover 3. So this play is all about timing. You want to go in practice mode and try some reps and make sure you have a ton of speed on this wideout, and once you get this all down, this can be some huge plays down the field versus cover 3. Then if we get too high pre-snap, the first place we want to look is the option route from the tight end in the slot. And now instead of running up the seam, he'll run a post and cut in front of the safeties in the middle of the field, and he will be in behind the linebackers, and you can drop it into this hole for a huge pickup. Then if all the deeper options are taken away or they start playing man coverage, we want to look to this slant over the middle as our check down underneath option on this play. Now a vital cog in this Bengals offense is Joe Mixon, and he really is a complete back. Since he came to the league, Mixon has showcased his versatility by not only being a powerful runner between the tackles, but also a reliable pass catcher. He brings balance to the Bengals offense. His power and vision allow him to grind those tough yards out, adding some punch to this scheme, while his pass catching ability adds another dimension, acting as a safety valve for Burrow and keeping defenses guessing. And 2021 was his best season. He had over 1,200 yards on the ground and another 300 plus through the air. So at this spot, I'm using Ramondre Stevenson, and he's the perfect do-it-all running back at 227 pounds. He can put his head down and really pick up those hard yards on the inside, and really can add that power element to our spread offense. But he is also a solid receiver out of the backfield, and we can dump it off to him underneath and let him make a play with the ball in his hands. Next, we're looking at the play red zone HB scissor in gun normal off close weak. This is a play we can use to get our running back vertical up the field, and we can use him as a weapon in the pass game, and this is something the Bengals love to do to get Mixon the ball and be a playmaker through the air. To set this play up, have your running back corner out going to the short side of the field, then just take the tight end and put him on a streak, and that is the whole setup. Now this is designed to attack zone, and we just want to play off the flat defender. So find him, read him at the snap, and if he bites down on the flat route, then this running back will get vertical in behind him, and you can just throw it in over his head for a big pickup. On this play as well, you will see the pass defender on the other side is going to get pulled back by the post, opening up a really nice hole for this running back route that you can use to get super easy pickups. Then if you read the flat defender and he is dropping out under the running back, then you just want to drop it down to the flat route and let him make a play in the open field and pick up those easy yards. Then if at the snap you see the user lead the middle to cover that running back vert route, then we have the post breaking in behind him, and this is going to stay in front of the safety, and you can rifle it into this hole in the middle of the field for a really nice gain. Then the last option here, if you work from the running back to the post and you don't like either of them, then we have this dig layering in underneath from the other side of the field, and this will be our fourth read on this play. Then for our run game, my go-to run in this scheme is counter Y in gun normal off close weak. This counter run is something the Bengals love to incorporate, where they can get pulling offensive linemen out in front, and they can open up some huge holes for Mixon to explode through, where he can get into the open field and make some huge plays. So for this run, it will be a counter where our running back will take a hard step, like it'll be a run to the strong side across the formation, but then we will counter back and we will get the tight end pulling along with the guard, and now you have both of these two out in front, and you want to run with a ton of patience, let the block set up, and once they do, you can explode out from behind them, get into the open field, and start making some really big plays on the ground. This is an excellent run and one of the most explosive I've used so far in Madden 24. Just run with patience and let your players make their blocks, and you will really have a super explosive run game on your hands. Then if you want to take this offense to the next level, you need to check out my website, Scheme Kings. Up right now is part 2 of this Bengals offense, where I'm going to give you guys 7 more plays for this scheme, and these are going to give you guys so many more great options to attack your opponent. That include some great run plays, some very good man-beating options, and then some ways to really push the ball down the field for huge gains. Then also on the site there is a new area where you can find all of my schemes from Madden 23, and this is also where you can find the rest of this NFL spread offense. And we do already have a mini scheme up on the site, plus my Bills Josh Allen scheme, and there's going to be a ton more on the site for this whole offense. So if you want to check out Scheme Kings, it will be linked down in the description below. Now, T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd are crucial components of this Bengals dynamic offense, serving as reliable possession receivers that dominate over the middle of the field. They have the ability to beat man coverage, make crucial plays down the field, and act as security blankets for Burrow in those high pressure situations. T. Higgins brings a physical presence with his size and strength. He is adept at using his body to shield defenders, making him a go-to option on third downs and the red zone. Tyler Boyd, on the other hand, is the master of the slot. His quickness and sharp route running ability makes him a nightmare for defenders in man coverage, and he has a knack for making tough catches in traffic. And in our slot receiver possession role in this offense, I'm using the Chad Johnson legend card. He's the perfect player here because he is excellent at beating one-on-one man coverage, and this is going to be our go-to option versus these looks, but he also has the speed to get down the field and make big plays, giving us more explosion to this scheme. Next up, we have shallow cross and gun tight Y off weak. This is a great concept to use that can really allow players like Higgins and Boyd to work the middle of the field, and when combined with Burrow's ability to diagnose defenses and fit balls into tight areas, makes this very tough. To set this up, have the running back go into the short side of the field, then take the outside receiver on the short side, put him on a streak, and that is the whole setup. So first place I like to look here is the flat defender on the short side, and if he stays shallow in the harder flats, then we have this deep spot route that will get down the field and pull up and sit down in their zone coverage, and you can drop it into him for a really nice pickup. Then if the flat defender is staying back and getting under this spot route, then we actually want to look to the deep middle of the field to our deep post, and we're going to have this vertical route pushing back the deep blue defenders. Then the shallow spot route over the middle will hold down their safeties, and you can fire this into the deep post in this hole and let them make a play over the middle of the field. Then if you don't like the look of the post because the user is jumping it or the safety is driving in on it, then look underneath to the shallow spot route over the middle, and you can just drop it down to him for some easy yards. Then lastly, for a check down on this play, if the whole D is playing off and taking away the deeper options, you can throw the quick swing out to the running back and let him pick up some easy yards in the open field. Then for a man-beating play in this scheme, we have branch return and gun empty bunch Y flex. This is the type of play the Bengals love, where they can have their elite route runners dominate their one-on-one matchups and shred man coverage, creating a ton of big plays for their offense. To set this up, have your bunch to the wide side, then take the outside player on the short side, motion him out, which will actually bring him in. Then we want to put him on a whip, and that is a whole setup. So first place I like to look here is the corner route from the point man on the bunch, and this is an excellent route, and as your player breaks, he will get very good separation on the outside, and you can drop it in for a really nice pickup. This will be the first place we look, and unless they have a safety helping over the top, you should be good to go and attack this corner for a ton of nice gains down the field. Then if the corner route is taken away with safety help, then I want to look back inside to the dig route over the middle, and he will usually get some good separation for a nice pickup in this area of the field. Then for shorter options, we have a pair of whips, but we do have a special one from the bunch side that will actually break out, then back inside over the middle, and this is an amazing route that you can check it down to, and this can give you a ton of easy completions. Then we have another whip, which is a standard whip from the running back who will break in and then bust back out to the sideline, and this gives us another really good shorter option on this play. Now this Bengals offense is going to make you so tough to stop, and remember, you can get part 2 of this scheme up right now on Scheme Kings. Then if you want to add a super explosive scheme that you can pair with this Bengals offense that is also run out of the Chiefs Playbook, then you're going to want to check out my Josh Allen Bills offense, and to watch that, you just want to click this video right here.